Tiny Bunny is a non-linear psychological horror visual novel set in the late 90s. In a remote, decaying Russian village surrounded by the vast Siberian taiga. The narrative follows a series of child disappearances and the unsettling presence of figures wearing animal masks, blurring the boundaries between folklore, hallucination, and reality through the perspective of a deeply unrelatable child narrator. So get cozy and let's dive into the story of Tiny Bunny. The protagonist, Anton Petrov, is a 12-year-old 6th grader who has recently moved from the city with his family into his deceased grandmother's old house on the outskirts of the village. He's portrayed as intelligent, well-read, and artistically gifted. Anton possesses an imagination described as too rich. He's physically small, with snow-white hair and thick, round-rimmed glasses, features that mark him as different and vulnerable. Anton suffers from hallucinations or vivid visions, periodically managed through his medication. His perception of events is frequently questioned by adults and by the narrative itself. Having been bullied in the city, he quickly finds himself repeating the same old role in the village. The Petrov household is emotionally suffocating, defined by instability and constant tension. Olya, age 6, is Anton's closest emotional bond. She's terrified of a human-sized owl that she claims visits her bedroom window at night. Her parents dismiss this childish fantasy. Olya dreams of escaping to Neverland, a place where no one argues and no one is unhappy. Boris Petrov, the father, Boris moved the family to the village to hide from the unspecified detractors from his past in the city. He's emotionally distant and frequently absent. Karina Petrov, Anton's mother, is strict, suspicious, and increasingly unstable. She treats her children with cold authority, often accusing Anton of misbehavior. Her emotional restraint gradually gives way to violent outbursts. The parents' marriage is collapsing, and their loud, frequent arguments deeply affect both children. The family settles into the old house at the forest's edge. Anton struggles to adjust to village life while enduring his parents' constant arguments and Olya's growing fear of the owl. Police lieutenant visits the house to question the family about the disappearance of the local boy, Vova. Inspired by his own stories and fantasies of heroism, Anton briefly imagines that he might be able to find the missing boy himself. While exploring the near forest, Anton discovers what appears to be Vova's blood-soaked mitten. He panics and is chased by an unseen presence, narrowly escaping back home. When he shows the mitten to his mother, upon closer inspection, the mitten is revealed to be soaked only in water, not blood. Karina dismisses Anton's fears, gives him his medication, and tells him to stop messing around. She also notices a pack of wild dogs roaming near the forest, reframing the situation as something explainable. Later that night, Anton witnesses disturbing visions of masked animals dancing in the snow, while Olya begins suffering recurring nightmares of the owl visiting her window. Anton starts school and is immediately targeted by Semyon, a violent bully, along with his followers Roma and Vyasha. Anton forms a tentative bond with Polina, a quiet and talented violinist, and encounters Alyssa, a strange girl who wears a fox mask and seems intrinsically tied to the forest, which Anton met on his way to school. After school, Anton walks Polina home. They share a rare moment of calm, discussing village legends. The peace is shattered when Semyon and Roma confront Anton, with Roma displaying open jealousy that Anton is getting close to Polina. Choosing to stand his ground, Anton fights back. The confrontation is brutal. Anton is beaten severely and knocked unconscious. He experiences a deeply disturbing nightmare and wakes alone in the forest. Later that night, Boris finds Anton and brings him home. He instructs Anton not to tell his mother what happened and reveals he has a pistol hidden in his car. The second episode ends with a revelation that Semyon has gone missing, becoming the second child to vanish. Lieutenant returns to the school to lecture the students about safety. Meanwhile, Katya, the class gossip, begins to spread rumors that Anton himself is responsible for the disappearances. Anton chooses to spend time with Polina, who gives him a necklace meant to ward off evil or bad presence. Shortly after, Roma confronts Anton in a jealous rage and nearly stabs him. Anton falls backward, the necklace becoming visible, an act that ultimately saves his life. Olya tells Anton that their mother suffered a terrible episode during an argument with Boris. Karina stabbed the knife into a live fish. According to Olya, Boris initially laughed before breaking down in tears and helping his wife. Near the episode's end, Anton discovers that Alyssa has lured Olya toward the forest. The owl is revealed to be another child wearing an animal costume. They also claim they aren't the killers. Someone else is lurking in the woods, and they mention that Anton is the bunny that the group has been looking for, and they have finally found him. Alyssa leads Anton deep into the woods, where reality dissolves into a dreamlike experience of flying above the snowy treetops. The forest reveals itself as a sentient force, inviting Anton to join its strange company. The episode ends with Katya's disappearance. Anton visits Polina's home and meets her grandfather, whose hostile and oppressive presence is deeply unsettling. Polina reveals that both of her parents have passed away, and that her grandfather raised her like a daughter. After a brief romantic moment alone with Polina, the grandfather's intrusion forces Anton to flee in fear. Polina has a mental breakdown, asking him not to leave. Outside, Anton is intercepted by Roma, armed with a butterfly knife. Under the forest's influence, Roma behaves like a feral predator, hunting Anton with wolf-like intensity. Anton returns home to find his parents arguing. He and Olya follow the forest children into a surreal snow castle, where they meet Grandpa Frost, a folkloric figure who speaks in riddles. Anton accepts Grandpa Frost's candy, sealing his bond with the monsters. After eating the candy, Anton's world erupts into bright colors. He awakens in a perfect reality. His parents are reconciled. They plan a trip to Disneyland, and his dog Zulka is alive. At school, Polina arrives as if nothing has happened. Anton realizes his drawing of her is actually chaotic, horrific mess. The illusion collapses as the school transforms into rotting ruins, plastered with missing person posters. Anton returns to the abandoned village and meets the mutated forest beast. They reveal their feast was made of human remains and warns Anton that he must now provide meat or become it himself. Anton returns home to find Olya beriddled and severely ill, a physical consequence of her involvement with the forest spirits. He discovers his psychiatric medication, revealing his parents use it to suppress his visions. The forest creatures return for their promised treat. Anton's humanity is gone. He no longer distinguishes between his family and the food demanded. If Anton refuses or fails to provide a victim, the beasts turn on him. No outcome offers redemption. They snatch Olya and Anton. The good ending is typically identified as the safe Olya outcome. This ending is the most optimistic path in the game, known for its dark 20 possible conclusions. Anton's parents and Olya remain safe and unharmed by the forest's supernatural forces. While Olya is saved, Anton's fate is often ambiguous and involves him taking on a burden to protect his family, where Anton disappears but ensures the cycle of violence for his family ends.